like that, and give it a glow just like that. So I'm not going to give it any color now, since we're just trying to understand light. And let's just go here. So this is basically how the whole thing is going to kind of, you know, look over here. So the next thing what you want to do is you want to simply go ahead to the spotlights over here and kind of just change their angles and things like that. So let me just kind of change one of their angles first. You can actually see all of them kind of just increasing and decreasing. So first of all, we need to increase that angle, but we need to even increase the penumbra angle so that it's mostly diffused light. Needs to be heavy always. So something like this would actually make a lot of sense in the way the whole thing, you know, ends up looking. Definitely we can reduce the intensity as well, so it's not too much light, because you always want rooms to be quite cozy. So you can actually see where with the things which have not really, you know, reduced any light. So I'm going to set these at 0.75 and 0.60. I'm going to set this at 15. So we can actually see we have 15, 0.75 and 0.6. what we can, you know, give these setups in the same everywhere. So this will be 15, that's 0.75, and that's 0.6. Again, that's 15, that's 0.75, and that's 0.6. Let's quickly go ahead and add all these everywhere over here. And that's basically about it. That's basically how I've kind of set up the whole lighting in the room, and I think that looks really fine. We're getting a good amount of light coming in. We can definitely change the color slightly to a very lime yellowish, light yellowish type color. I think that would kind of, you know, bring in an even better look. And if you guys are okay with this, then we can definitely, you know, go ahead. But let's just reduce the light even further and kind of see how it's looking. What if we just have it at 10? Let's just reduce all of this to 10, because I really think that the lighting, because there is so much light in the room, so many different lights in the room, the entire room is getting extremely lit up, and that's good in a way, but we don't need so much of light as well. And you can actually see this makes it look much more smoother, much more warmer, and the whole room feels much more you know, nice. So what I'm going to do is now I can actually bring back all the materials, you know, if you want to see it, how it's kind of looking together. And this is somewhat what the whole thing is kind of, you know, coming out to be like. Now, as you can see on top, the entire ceiling is actually getting very dark. We need to kind of have a look on that, but you can actually see everything else looks quite nice with all the lights on and things like that. We still need to check out why the ceiling is giving an issue. So I'm simply going to click on the ceiling and see what that is really doing. So we can see over here we're getting all these kind of reflections happening. Can reduce the IOR. Again, I don't really think there is too much of an issue with this, but if we ever find a problem in a material like this, what I prefer doing is simply going ahead and selecting another material, simply by just selecting a color, giving it out any simple color like this, you know, just selecting that color and just kind of putting that color everywhere over here. You can just have a look at how I've done that. And in this entire ceiling now, you'll start to see a couple of changes which would end up happening to it. Or we can even go into sunlight, and over here we can kind of change the whole thing. So as you guys can see, we have facing a problem with the ceiling over here, which is coming up to be too dark, and also the lighting which we have added over here is not being seen. But when such issues do come up to us, we don't have to worry. We have to actually understand why is it happening. Is it because of the shadow, or is it because of the timing? So we might just make a slight change in that to kind of see if it's affecting the ceiling. And if we can see that, then you can see this light and dark as well. We can actually have these changed as well. We can increase the light, and we can even increase this to see if there are any changes which are happening in this entire model. And if it's not, then we first of all need to add a couple of things. First of all, we'll illuminate the concealed lighting with rectangular lighting rather than giving emissive lighting in this case. So for that, you can see I'm actually just going to jump up over here into this space, and I'll be selecting the rectangular light and clicking over here and simply kind of going all the way that side and kind of just getting that placed down over there. So just something like that. So we got light coming in from here. Now we'll just copy this if we want. Just select that and kind of just copy that from there and kind of simply just place that over here. Now right click and let's just reverse this face, so we can just so we do not have a reverse option. We can just flip it along, let's say the green side or the red side, or we can simply open up the rectangle box over here and just go to options and make sure that it's double-sided, so we have light coming out from both the sides. Now we can simply go ahead and copy this from here, take it all the way that side and give it a paste over here. And now since it's double-sided, we'll be having from both the sides. Simply come here and place it as well over here. Now let's jump back into our scene and have a look at how our entire view is looking right now. You can actually see because of those lights, we have actually improved the lights of the ceiling as well. Still, this portion is extremely dull and there's no real understanding of why is it there. So what we can do is we can actually go ahead and do something very different over here, and this is something which is called manipulation or image manipulation that we do so that we can have very good looking views. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're simply going to create a full rectangle all the way over here. You can see that. We'll just simply create a rectangle over here, and I'm going to be selecting from the rectangle list like this. I'm simply going to be selecting this and scaling this now all the way. You can see in all the four directions. There's going to be the whole room over. This is called image manipulation. We need to be doing these sometimes when we're not getting the right look for our particular scene, or because the Vray engine is not really working the way it should. And that will go over here, and this one will basically come all the way till here, and that's basically how we're going to do it. Now for this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rotate this completely, just 180, and let's bring this back to place over here, something like that. And we're actually going to move this downwards like this. Let me just close this tab right now because these things intend to get very heavy when you're actually trying to use so much of the resources all together. In the next topic, I'm actually going to be showing you guys how you can make proxies and then use those proxies to actually put out objects in your whole thing. So let's just kind of have that placed over here. So we'll just move that a little bit down. Oh, we're selecting the whole thing now. No need to select the whole thing. Simply just select that and move that downwards, just like that. And what's going to happen, because we have moved this downwards, now when I click a render interactive, you'll actually see how this whole thing is shooting light in the upwards direction. We don't really need to shoot light that much in the upwards direction. We can simply just move this up to just so that the ceiling is getting lit. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to keep my Vray asset editor on and go into options and make it invisible. And what's going to happen is, because it's made invisible, you'll actually see that this whole thing is yet being seen. I'm actually shooting light in the upward direction so that this whole thing is very visible for us. At the same time, you guys will notice that this is still a little bit dark, but once it clears out, I think we'll be getting good look depending on all of these as well. So that's about it, and I'll see you guys in the next topic. Take care.